the Dead Time Radio Show. It is episode 4. I'm Billy. This is Dawn.
Hello.
And we're glad you're back with us. I'm hoping you guys are enjoying the show. A little information for you. If you want to get a hold of us, you can send us an email at thedeadtimeradio@gmail.com. You can give us a call at 843-492-7966. Leave a message. 2 minutes, I think, is the max on the message. So if you have a long message, then you're a long-winded person. Then leave more than one message.
Yep.
And we'll play them on the radio, and we'll read your emails.
We like to listen.
We do like to listen. Hey, we also got some cool stuff going on. We're wearing our shirts today. We have shirts for sale. T-shirts. Dead Time Radio Show T-shirt. They are pretty damn cool. I believe we said, what, $15 for a shirt?
20 for a shirt.
20 for a shirt. Mm-hmm. And then we also have a cool package, too, where Dawn is going to do some tarot card reading for you if you'd like. And if you do that and you buy the tarot card reading, the half an hour one is $65, and the hour one is $120. But you get a T-shirt with it. Mm-hmm. That sounds pretty cool.
Rock a T-shirt.
Also, if you'd like to just become a patron and all that good stuff, you can click on the button on the Podbean app that says become a patron and donate if you'd like. And don't forget to like and subscribe and click the bell on YouTube.
Yes, like and
because
subscribe.
we're on YouTube as well as Podbean and Spotify. We like it that way. We have a fun episode tonight. Our episode tonight, we've been talking about this because we deal with really stupid people.
Yes.
Really stupid people in the emergency room that do really dumb things, and they wonder why they're hurt. So we decided we were going to do a whole show on the Darwin Awards.
Yes.
One of my favorite things. Now, if anybody is not familiar with the Darwin Awards, it is an award given to people who die or get seriously maimed or injured from doing stupid things. It's basically survival of the fittest, and you're awarded if you did something stupid.
Okay, we have to read what it says. Honoring Charles Darwin, the father of evolution, Darwin Awards commemorate those who improve our gene pool by removing themselves from it in the most spectacular way possible.
It's
so we're here to tell you guys some of the things that we found, because some of these I was like stunned and shocked.
Yes.
And I was like, we have to do this. We have to do this. This is our second. I was like, we're totally doing the show because this is hilarious.
Yeah. And I like it because some of it's fucking hilarious because, I already believe that humanity's garbage anyway. Some of the stuff is like,
who thinks of that?
Yeah.
Who came up with the idea to do that?
So we're going to start with a doozy. This is
a big one. That's what she said.
This is a Darwin Award from 1993. It says it is priapism takes a penis. Now, if people don't know what priapism is, it's when your blood fills up in your penis to the point where your penis stays erect and it gets painful.
That is the warning they have on Viagra. If you have a priapism for more than 4 hours, call your doctor.
Yes, because
so
it's not a good thing.
Priapism means that the blood is locked inside your penis. Is like it will not drain back out.
And that's not good. It has
to be surgically fixed.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's not going to go away.
People who have sickle cell anemia get it a lot, and it can be very painful and very, very, very uncomfortable.
I had a guy that wanted to wait on his sister before he went into the OR, and the doctor says you may lose your penis waiting on your sister. Every minute counts when it comes to getting that blood back out of there.
Good stuff.
Here we go.
So this is
hello and welcome.
DarwinAwards.com. And this one was the 1993 Darwin Award, or 1988 Darwin Award winner.
Yes.
And to be honest, I think this should be the winner for all time.
Well, you are a man. So.
I'm sure there's more on here too, though. Doctors warn of a dangerous new method of cocaine abuse, injecting the drug directly into the urinary tract. Physicians from New York Hospital Cornell Medical Center reported the case of a 34-year-old man who suffered severe bleeding under the skin after pumping cocaine into his urethra. It led to complications that destroyed his penis, 9 fingers, and parts of his legs. They fill an eyedropper or a syringe with a cocaine solution and inject it into the penis, said Dr. Samuel Perry, a professor of clinical psychiatry. The man had injected cocaine before intercourse in an effort to enhance sexual performance. He was admitted to the hospital because his penis had remained erect for 3 days.
3 days. They warn you 4 hours. This was 3 days.
Resulting in a painful inability to urinate. The medical term for a prolonged erection is priapism. On his 3rd day in the hospital, the man's erection suddenly subsided. Over the next 12 hours, blood leaked into the tissues of his feet, hands, genitals, back, and chest. Blood coagulation causes tissues to die over large areas of the patient's body, and he was transferred to the burn unit of New York Hospital Cornell Medical Center. Doctors there were forced to amputate the man's legs above the knee and all but one of his fingers to stop the spread of gangrene. The patient's penis fell off by itself.
Fell off by itself. It rotted. Just like, nope.
The man is currently recovering in a rehabilitation facility. Men who inject cocaine into the penis report that it gives them a sexual high. Drug abuse treatment experts have previously reported external use of cocaine as a sexual stimulant. Cocaine powder is rubbed onto the surface of the genital organs by both men and women in an effort to halt premature ejaculation or improve sexual sensations. We report this case to alert clinicians to this new method of cocaine abuse and to describe its rare and previously unreported complications, the doctors concluded.
So the poisonous blood that was inside the penis that had remained there for days, when the penis went down, it was filtered through your body to all your peripheral, which are your feet and hands and legs, and they had to amputate his leg. Gangrene.
Yeah.
That means rotten. And the smell of gangrene, you will never get that smell out of your nose.
It's horrible smell.
You know the smell when you smell it. It is not a smell you ever want to smell.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty.
And most of the time when we get them, they're gangrenous testicles. Like, how did you get that far?
Right.
How'd you not go to the doctor?
Right.
How did you, when the smell started, somebody's like, ooh, you need to go somewhere.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on to this one. This one's from 2018. Love struck Louis III. 5 August 882. France, a powerful ruler, is not immune to the consequences of his actions. Over 1,000 years ago, Louis III ruled West Francia for 3 short years. Francia is what France was before it became France.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Cool.
A brief reign marked by military success. King Louis conquered new tracts of territory and he defeated Viking raiders, but alas, despite amazing success, amazing loss soon followed. On a fine autumn day in Saint Denis, France, the king glimpsed a beautiful woman he needed to woo and pursue. On horseback, he chased her. Clearly not seeing where he was headed, he whacked his royal skull on an innocent door lintel. The coup d'etat, a fatal blow. His cranium fractured, King Louis III died to teach us an important life lesson. Be careful when blindly following innate desires. The world can crash down upon your head in the space of one overzealous woo.
So she obviously didn't want you to pursue her. That is why she was running.
Right?
So you got knocked the fuck out, dude.
Fuck yeah, you did. All right, this one's from 2018.
Ooh, it says Walmart. This is going to be a good one.
A gun named Lorena. November 28th, 2018 in Arizona, the Buckeye Police Department reports that a man accidentally shot his own sausage while shopping in the meat aisle at Walmart.
Oh, God.
Arizona law does not require a permit, nor a holster for that matter, to carry a firearm, so our hero felt free to carry his piece commando style, unholstered, beneath his waistband.
Oh, no.
When the unholstered gun drifted down into his jeans, he reached in and pulled the trigger while repositioning his weapon. This loose cannon's low-hanging fruit didn't have a chance. Firearm supporters can add this event to the arsenal of ammunition against gun control. Guns really do make a difference. Darwin Award, odds are our gun nut, pun intended, shredded his ability to breed and wins the Uncommon Living Darwin Award. Still alive but unable to reproduce. Otherwise, his reward is an honorable mention. Better luck next time. We await further information.
That is saving us and the children a long
Yeah,
arduous
just
life of.
don't put a fucking
No.
gun without being in
No,
a
that's why
holster
they have
in your
holsters.
pants, you morons.
Yes, that's why they have holsters.
Oh,
Women have actual shirts.
yeah.
They're super cool.
They
Yeah.
got some cool shirts and they got a whole bunch of cool little. I mean, it's just stupid. You can't do that kind of shit.
No.
All right, 28 January 2018, Selangor, Malaysia. Zaim Koznan spotted a 12-foot reticulated python dozing on the side of the road. That sizable snake is worth money. The 35-year-old prepared for this windfall with gloves and a sickle. Sweet success. Swiftly was the first round won, and triumphantly Zaim held the reptile's head high as he transported it home by motorbike. Picture that crazy
Like he's
scene.
driving, going.
Yeah. Swinging in the air, the displeased captive made a counter move and wrapped its body round and round its captor, constricting in self-defense.
Yeah.
Zaim swerved off the road, and the results of round two became apparent to passersby the next morning. They killed the 3.5-meter snake. Okay, so that's 9 feet long.
Yeah.
Because 1 meter is like 3 feet, right?
I don't know.
2.5, 3 feet. So that's almost a 10-foot snake.
So
To free the man's body, and a post-mortem confirmed his death by strangulation. I like this. Zaim Khalis was described as a quiet man, a quiet person who kept to himself. Oh my God!
poor guy. Like he thought he was gonna like feed his family for a year with
Yeah.
that snake.
Yeah.
That snake's like, what you don't know is I'm also a constrictor. So
That's crazy.
guess what I'm gonna do? I'm going to cut your airway off to save
Yeah.
my own life.
Here's some from
Now I'm going
2020.
to proceed to ingest you and unlock my lower jaw and consume you.
Malaysians are small people too. I bet he probably
It
had a
would
good
be.
meal.
Yeah. Yep.
17 March 2020 in Colorado, Michael Sexton, 58, read of a buried treasure in a book authored by an eccentric and controversial art dealer named Forrest Fenn. In the thrill of the chase, Fenn claims that he himself buried $2 million worth of gold coins and other artifacts somewhere out in the Rocky Mountains, and gives clues throughout the book, hinting at its secret location in 9 poetry verses. Temptation was great for Michael. Although 350,000 others had gone looking for the buried box, no one is known to have found it. Worse, 4 men died in the effort. Unlike the rest of them, however, Michael knew where the treasure was buried, based on his interpretation of the clues in the book. So he talked a 65-year-old acquaintance into joining him on a treasure hunt, and their quest for quick riches began. In February of 2020, they headed to Dinosaur National Monument on the Colorado-Utah border. Michael was so certain he knew where the treasure was that neither he nor his colleague prepared for an overnight stay in the mountains, no doubt assuming that if they started early enough, they would be home by sunset, $2 million richer. First mistake. Wow. Well, Michael was wrong. They found no treasure and they lost their bearings. Cold, hungry, and disoriented, the future looked grim for Michael and his friend. Shivering and close to death, they were fortunately found just in time by a search and rescue team who brought them down the mountain. One would think that having survived such an experience, Michael would have learned better. But he did not. 1 month later, having sufficiently recovered, he set out for a second try. Once more, he sweet-talked the 65-year-old colleague into joining him because treasure. This time, they would find it. All right.
That's like that show
That's like-
that you watch
yeah.
where we've been watching season by season by season by season. What's it called? Oak Island.
Yeah.
And they find
Oh,
a
the
piece
Treasure of
wood
Oak
and it,
Island,
like,
yeah.
It freaks them out.
And
And,
then
then
there's
they're on
like-
another season and all they find is like a
They
tic
haven't
tac and
found
a
shit.
1987 pocket
Used
and,
condom in the fucking well.
and a button.
Yeah.
And then you keep watching because you just know there's going to be
Well, that's how they keep you in.
treasure.
The unfolding COVID-19 epidemic had prompted intermittent closures of Dinosaur National Monument, and hikers were cautioned that difficult terrain should be avoided so first responders could remain safe in quarantine. But that didn't stop Michael. On Tuesday, March 17th, he left Denver with a few candy bars, 2 bottles of water, a copy of Fenn's book, and the clothes on his back. He didn't learn from the first time,
what's
apparently.
March? That's St.
March is
Paddy's
fucking
Day.
cold
St.
in the
Patrick's
mountains in
Day.
Colorado. Yeah.
So he was going to be the luck of the Irish and find that
Yeah.
fucking treasure on St. Patrick's Day and find at the huge, at the end of the rainbow, right? On St. Paddy's Day.
Oh, my
He was going to
God.
be remembered.
Yeah. Just
That's not
outside
how
the
he's
park,
remembered.
the 2 men rented snowmobiles and loaded them onto the bed of their pickup truck. The bemused rental agent watched the unprepared treasure hunters drive off towards the remote northwest boundary of the park, perhaps wondering how long the unlikely pair would last before they returned. After nightfall, the rental agent alerted local authorities. The search began. On the morning of Friday the 20th, they found Michael's truck. On Saturday morning, they found the abandoned snowmobiles and saw that Michael and his friend had unwisely continued on foot. Saturday afternoon, they located the two men about a mile from the snowmobiles, ironically, at nearly the exact spot of the previous rescue a month earlier.
What the fuck?
Michael was brought back down the mountain, but this time in a body bag. His friend barely survived and refuses to talk about their ordeal to this day. In June of 2020, the treasure was rumored to have been finally discovered, but this word came from the author Forrest Fenn himself, and he has not provided any further details at the time of this writing. Fenn's veracity has been questioned by, among others, the FBI, and several lawsuits have since been filed against him. Some speculate that the treasure, if it exists at all, consists of artifacts illegally harvested by Fenn. Whatever the truth is, people will no doubt continue looking for the fabled treasure. If so, they had best proceed better prepared, or else find themselves in the same sorry predicament as Michael and the treasure trove, buried.
So my husband and I, we like to walk, right? So we're trekkers. So we're coming out of the mountains, and there's a family, mom, dad, 3 kids. All they have is a water bottle each, all in shorts. So they don't realize, even around here, the temperature at night, it gets cold. In the trees, there's no sun. There's nothing to warm you. The ground is cold.
Yeah.
Where are you going? You don't have a
flashlight?
Be
prepared, yeah.
You don't have a lantern?
Should always be prepared.
You each have a bottle of water.
And there's wild animals.
Yes.
There's like fucking...
Like, what are you doing?
There's like panthers out here.
My
cougars.
husband will turn to look at me and goes, they're not going to last. I was like, I know. Look, each one of them has a bottle of water.
There's cougars. There's alligators.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not Florida, but there's still alligators up here. Wow. You know what the funny thing about this, though, is... I don't know, this Forrest Fenn guy, he's probably a piece of shit. He probably just wrote this book to make money.
Yeah, but that's like geocaching, dude.
I don't see how people can
sue him. The thrill of the hunt.
Right. But I don't see how people can sue him.
I don't either. You made the choice.
Yeah. Yeah, you made the choice.
To look for it.
He maybe it's because he didn't put a disclaimer in the book. Hey, this isn't real.
Yeah.
But then nobody would buy his shit if he said that. I don't know, man. That
like cruise control is not autopilot, and don't get out of your RV to make coffee.
Right.
Don't get out of your driver's seat to make coffee in the back because it is not autopilot.
Right.
Yeah. Somebody did that.
Yeah.
And now they have to make a disclaimer on an RV.
Well, they got to put a disclaimer on glue so you
now
don't put it in your fucking hair.
Yes. Now they will have to.
All right. 8 May 2009 in Utah, Brent L., 59, found a stash of dynamite. This already starting off good. In a shed on his 5,000-acre ranch. Located 3 miles from the Ate Key Thiokol booster rocket testing area. This already starting to sound great.
Oh, this is what shifted us off.
Yes.
Off kilter our world.
Details about this stash are few. Chief Deputy Kevin Potter said, whether the dynamite was his or whatever, that's yet to be determined. Whatever its origins, the rancher was alarmed and had good reason to be. Old dynamite sweats nitroglycerin. Yeah. And once it sweats, it is very unstable and can pop anytime.
Yes.
This well-known fact was indubitably known by the rancher, but this stash of flash was something he felt he could deal with. Wow. The rancher removed the dynamite from the shed, placed it in a field of knee-high grass, backed away about 40 yards, and fired a shotgun at it.
Oh, man.
The dynamite's response was to send shrapnel back at the rancher, and this shrapnel scored a solid hit to the man's head. The Bucks County Sheriff's Office said they were still looking into it, and the dynamite exploded for some reason. But the first medical team on the scene reported that the man shot the dynamite from 40 yards. Brent L. was airlifted to the hospital where he passed away.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
Have you not seen Lost? Like, that is one of the main scenes in Lost when they go into that ship.
Here's one of
And the guy's like, I'm a teacher, and he goes... Like it's blown to bits.
This is a good reader's comment. I wonder what gets into a guy's head to make him shoot at a high explosive. I guess the answer is shrapnel.
That's what you would say. Did you write that?
Right? No. Oh, my God.
Oh, that has all of the great things, man.
Yes.
That has like shotguns and dynamites and
Yeah.
testing areas and all the good things.
So here's a good one. Of course, this happens in Florida, 2008. Just because you see it online does not mean it's a good idea. Cameron, 18, was joyriding in a shopping cart as he held onto a moving SUV. Oh, no. An eyewitness said, "It's irresponsible behavior, but what do you expect from kids? I expect more than that." Apparently, his parents did a very bad job. The car and the cart went over a speed bump, and the cart overturned, ejecting its occupant who was not wearing the little seatbelt. Cameron was pronounced dead at the scene.
He broke his neck, probably.
Yeah? Fucking moron.
Okay, my husband and my son watch those fail videos. Like, I can't, it tears my nerves up.
Some of those bother me.
I have high blood pressure.
It just looks painful.
Because I know what's going to happen. And I know they're going to be coming into the ER in about 5 minutes with, we're going to have to put this stupid person back together. And they just think it's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
They think it's hilarious.
This one happened in 2007 in Scotland.
Ooh.
James, 26, was working on a new house when, according to earlier reports, the operative picked up a canister of insulating foam and gave it a shake as recommended. A pressure explosion occurred when the can burst. The bottom section hit him in the chest and crumpled and wrinkled to some 6 inches, resulting in his death. Because of this misleading initial report, a safety alert was issued, warning all of the potential for cans of expanding foam to undergo lethal decompression. But the warning was retracted when it was discovered that James had, for reasons unknown, applied a blowtorch to the pressurized 500 milliliter canister, causing the lethal malfunction.
What?
Oh my God.
Okay, so you guys, there's a propellant that's inside the can.
Yes.
That gets the contents out of the can.
It says warning, contents under pressure. Right on the fucking cans.
Why would you put a blowtorch on it? Just to see what's going to happen?
Unbelievable.
I wonder what happened when he got to wherever he was going. Like, what the fuck were you thinking, dude?
I'm just hitting random. It's just popping random stories up. These are fucking phenomenal.
Wow.
Tiny elect fence. This has got to be good.
Okay.
I'm guessing, before I even read it, that somebody peed on a fence.
This is probably
10
right.
January 2010, Brazil. An electrical discharge made toast of municipal guard Arthur de Souza Coelho, I think. H is pronounced as an N in Portuguese, I think.
Okay.
47 on Sunday evening. According to police reports, he had installed a tiny electric fence around his car to protect against the frequent robberies that occur in his neighborhood in Belém Pará. Then, direct translation from Portuguese, he forgot that he had left a fence on and he ended up dying with the electric shock. Oh my God.
So he put a fence around his own car.
He electrified his car.
And then he forgot that he electrified the fence. Wow.
I love people. They're so stupid. Wow. Think before you leap. Idaho. 2001, 21 July. When his brakes failed while driving down a steep mountain road, Marco bailed out on his 8 passengers.
What? Marco!
And leapt from his Dodge van. Too bad Marco didn't alert the others to the problem before he took flight so precipitously. Another passenger was able to bring the vehicle to a stop a short distance away. Marco struck his head on the pavement and died at the scene. No one else was injured.
Well, it's a good thing, because you could have killed everyone in that fucking car, and you jumped out. So,
could you imagine?
You are going too fast. You open the door. No one's driving the vehicle. And then I look at you going,
what the fuck are you doing, Billy?
Yeah. Where the fuck are you going?
Bye.
Bye, Felicia. Jumped the fuck out of the car,
dude,
and you died.
That right there is instant fucking karma.
That's karma. That's exactly what that's karma.
That's instant karma.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Oh, did you read that? Go back. Can you go back now?
Yeah.
Objects in the rear view mirror look more intelligent than they actually are.
Nice.
That was really good.
8 February 2005. Carefully, Wales. If Wales wins, I'll cut my balls off. Whoa, that's just...
Don't make that. Don't do it.
Jeff told his mates at a social club while watching the rugby match between England and its arch rival. His friend thought the 26-year-old was joking, but after Wales' 11-9 victory over England, he went home, castrated himself with a knife, and walked the length of 2 rugby fields back to the bar to show his shocked friends the evidence. It was Wales' first home win over England in 12 years. Jeff was taken to a hospital where he remained in a seriously ill condition.
Dude, he's a man of his word. I guess Welsh are a man of their word.
Wow. Oh my God.
What, like, who had to clean that up?
I have no idea.
Because that had to be a fucking bloody mess.
Dude,
and the walk.
He could have just said, I'll shave my head. He would have been all right then.
From all the way. He looked like he probably drug a corpse of some sort.
Who knows?
Shh.
April 2010, Romania. A 35-year-old man from Brela was only trying to fix a broken soil tamper, a tool his father had made himself and used for decades. The metal handle of this family heirloom had rusted loose, and our man was trying to weld it back into position. But unfortunately, he was welding the metal rod onto an antique World War II cannon shell. Yes, the family had been banging a cannon shell against the garden dirt for 2 generations. Specialists from the Bucharest ISU General Institute for Emergency Situations stated that the first weld had been made in a harmless position, but the second weld was made in exactly the wrong spot. The heat triggered the shell to explode, mortally wounding the man. In his defense, he was sure the projectile was harmless because his father had used it to compact earth for almost 40 years.
Oh my God! Why did the dad not die before the freaking unsuspecting
well, I think
kid?
Heat is
he was
gonna
just
probably,
doing what his dad
but
did.
I think heat's going to make it worse than banging on it.
But he probably thought that the cannon shell had nothing in it.
Well,
it was inactive.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it was probably a dud that they found out in their field. And here's the thing: the pin hit in the middle of the contact. That it was probably a bad contact. It was like a wet contact or something in there. But when you're heating up the metal around it,
yeah,
of course it's gonna fucking explode. Wow. These are beautiful.
In his defense, he was sure the projectile. Wow, dude. No
Gone
way.
fishing. 25 May 1999 in Ukraine. A fisherman in Kyiv electrocuted himself while fishing in the river Terablaya. The 40-year-old man connected cables to the main power supply of his home and trailed the end into the river. The electric shock killed the fish, which floated belly up to the top of the water. The man waded in to collect his catch, neglecting to remove the live wire, and tragically suffered the same fate as the fish. In an ironic twist, the man was fishing for a morning meal to commemorate... See how clever they were? Morning meal, but they spelled it with M-O-U-R-N.
Yeah.
The first anniversary of his mother-in-law's death.
Yeah.
In a related story on January 9th, the China Post reported that a 23-year-old Pingtung man died after eating fish he poisoned in a nearby ditch. 3 days of diarrhea and vomiting led to his demise after he ate fish he caught by pouring toxic chemicals in the water and at the suggestion of friends.
Those friends really did not like him.
Oh my God,
it's dumb enough.
Fucking awesome. Dude,
that's why, yeah.
You kill fish with the poison, but you don't eat the fish. You moron.
What? I mean, what? Why? Why are you killing the fish?
I have to give the guy in Ukraine some credit. It was smart.
Well, he should have.
But
he hooked it to his house.
He should have taken the wire out. Yeah, but he should have taken the wire out of the water.
Or turned it off. You see him float up. You walk back up the hill.
My God.
Boop, 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 boop. Turn the power off.
He would have been okay if he would have just worn rubber waders.
Oh.
26
you try
March
that
2000.
And tell us how that works out.
This one was done right here down in our state.
South Kakalaki.
Yeah. A North Carolina woman learned a hard lesson about drugs when she decided to sleep on the roof. Police reports say that Patricia and her boyfriend had been drinking and smoking marijuana when they decided to enjoy the fresh air on the roof of the King Charles Inn. They climbed over a guardrail with pillows and blankets and fell asleep under the stars.
Aww.
Sound asleep, apparently. Patricia slid off the roof and fell to her death on Hassel Street shortly before dawn on Sunday. When police arrived at the scene, the boyfriend was found still sleeping on the roof, curled up in a blanket and pillow. The death had been ruled an accident, but we feel that the blame belongs to the stoned woman who chose to snooze on the roof.
So what do you think, she got up and had to go pee?
No, she probably rolled. And she rolled off the side.
Slick?
Yeah.
Oh, you think she rolled off
I think she probably rolled off the side and fucking just... And never
I could just
woke up.
see her sliding out of her sheets. You know, she got sweaty and...
I bet she never woke up.
Maybe she was wearing... No, she probably didn't. She was just done.
30 May 2001, Hillsboro, Oregon. Ishmael, 25, was driving a Toyota truck when he lost control of the vehicle, which careened into a mailbox, collided with a utility pole, and flipped onto its side, knocking down high-voltage power lines in the process. At that point, Ishmael climbed from the truck and into the path of evolution. He surveyed the situation with a pair of pruning shears in his hand. Police speculate that he reached up to clip the snaking, arcing cable lying across his truck and was electrocuted when the shears touched the 7,500-volt cable. A medical examination found that the current traveled across his heart and out his left foot. He was found lying motionless, face down on the power line, with a pair of pruning shears in his hands. His day's passenger survived, only to be arrested on an unrelated warrant.
Oh!
That actually happened here one time when I was a kid living on base. There was a pole climber, that's what we used to call the guys that worked on the electric poles on base, who got shocked and lost his foot. They had to cut it off. Yeah, because it just like completely fried his foot.
So when I worked in Asheville, there was a Boy Scout troop. They were camping on top of a ridge, and he was standing up explaining to the boys what we're going to do. We're going to set the tents. We're going to do all this stuff. It went in, when he pulled his hand up, it went into his hand, right? And it blew both of his eyeballs out. I'm not kidding you. When he came to CT, both of his eyeballs were blown out.
Hanging on his cheeks?
Still talking. Yeah. Still talking. And it went out his foot. So it went into his hand all the way through, because it follows the path of water, and out his foot. But both of his eyeballs were
Well, that's why they blindfold people when they
out.
get electrocuted
Yeah,
in the
'cause their
chair.
eyeballs blow
Because their
out.
eyeballs will pop out.
Yep. They didn't protect anything. They just
That's
brought him in, so
crazy.
you can just see this.
Was he still able to see afterwards?
I don't think so. That it didn't look like eyeballs anymore. They were no longer white.
They were just like hanging there?
Well, they had that lady that can pop her eyeballs out.
Yeah.
The guy's eyelids was so far back,
Wow.
it was like meat. It was just not.
That's
it wasn't
creepy.
Good. It wasn't good at all. But yeah, so, lightning.
24 January 2000, Ohio. The Los Angeles Police Department contacted Ohio police hoping to locate a missing truck driver and his load of broccoli. The stalled truck was located 4 days later and towed to a local mechanic. They thawed and refueled the truck and found that, apart from an empty gas tank, the vehicle had no mechanical problems. The driver's personal effects and 7 bricks of marijuana were discovered in the cab of the vehicle. The trucking company and the police were both interested in the whereabouts of the errant driver, and a search was initiated. Shortly thereafter, a patrolman noticed 2 feet protruding between the pallets of broccoli, feet which belonged to the missing man. The broccoli was unloaded as quickly as possible into the cold Ohio winter, leaving the frozen body of the driver standing precisely upside down, attached to the floor of the trailer by his head. He was surrounded by space heaters and eventually pried off the floor, but his frozen corpse had to be turned on its side to load it into a rescue squad vehicle, as his arm was sticking out and wouldn't fit through the door. The Cuyahoga County Coroner's Office determined that the man was trying to retrieve a stash of cocaine from between the pallets of broccoli when he fell and knocked himself unconscious. He soon suffered from a fatal case of hypothermia and died in the icy air. Perhaps he should have confined his drug smuggling to the more clement climate of California.
Dude,
Wow.
So he was reaching down,
Trying to
and
grab
then he
his fucking
slipped,
coke.
and he cracked his skull, and he just stuck there and froze.
Yeah.
Wow, because his head was bleeding, so
Absolutely.
it just the blood congealed and froze
Yeah.
to the. Oh man, I'd love to have seen that.
Me too.
That's
Me
I would
too.
love to have seen that. That's just something. Wow.
Ethanol, schmethanol. I'm believing somebody drank fucking the wrong alcohol.
That happened not too long ago, a couple weekends ago, right?
Yeah, I think so. We'll soon find out if I'm a scientist or not. I'll drop a pellet of the compound I created into this test tube. With those murmured words, a Russian professor quaffed an aliquot of clear fluid from a beaker and slowly succumbed to methanol poisoning. The Oxford University professor had been in the habit of drinking laboratory ethanol until he unwittingly poured his last drink from a bottle of methanol.
Oh.
According to Usenet scientists, methanol is a common lab solvent that looks and smells like ethanol, but is 5 times as toxic and 5 times less intoxicating. Those who drink it invariably drink too much. By the time methanol symptoms are recognized, treatment, including kidney dialysis, may be too late. The 44-year-old professor of ecology was said to have had poor vision and probably misread the label.
But could that be from drinking methanol?
Yeah.
You have poor vision from drinking methanol.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
Don't
dude.
drink methanol.
Well,
It's bad
from
for you.
drinking ethanol first. He was drinking ethanol, and because of his poor vision, he drank methanol.
Well, methanol is like the... Oh, my God. Isn't that the one that comes from... Doesn't it come from wood?
I don't know.
I can't
don't
remember
know.
either. Ethanol comes from, like, corn and shit like that, and methanol comes from wood. I don't
So is
remember something
ethanol
like that.
what's in moonshine?
Yeah, ethanol is what's in regular alcohol.
Okay.
There used to be this ward at the hospital I worked at in San Antonio when I was in the military where all the people who were addicts would go. And these people were so bad that they couldn't even keep alcohol swabs out because they would grab the alcohol swabs and suck on them to suck the
What?
alcohol out of the swab.
That's not the right alcohol.
That's how bad their alcoholism was.
That's not the right alcohol.
No, it'll kill them.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
What's wrong with people?
They suck. Wow. 13 September 2013, Finland. 2 brothers-in-law were united by a common interest that is shared by a small but regrettably significant proportion of the population, collecting war weapons. By the date of their deaths, they had collected over 100 frag grenades, bazookas, fused materials, and ammunition from the forests of Lapland. Well, yeah, that was where the Great Winter War against the Soviet Union was, so I bet you could find a whole bunch of shit out there. The men enjoyed collecting the weapons as trophies, yet had no training in the handling and disposal of explosives. One can see how this is all going to end. Around 6 p.m. on a Friday night, the 24 and 27-year-old men were both in the garage with their antique weapons collection. The older man had finished defusing a grenade and was carefully removing the payload. The object of his attention was not a small hand grenade, but rather a large 75mm anti-tank grenade, 42 centimeters long, 17 inches long. Ironically, the attempt to render it harmless resulted in the opposite outcome. In the northern town of Kimi, the piece of the garage was shattered by a small explosion. The man holding the grenade died in the ambulance, and the others survived with serious injuries. In the aftermath of the explosion, 200 people within a 150-meter perimeter surrounding the garage were evacuated to a school, and then dozens of kilograms of explosives were safely removed by the, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, police department. Evacuees returned to their homes with gratitude for their lives. If more war weapons had been set off in a chain reaction, then there would have been victims and damaged buildings up to 300 meters away from the garage.
That's what I was thinking. Okay, all of that, like when you have a fireworks stand and a firework goes off in the fireworks stand, it's going to be a massive explosion.
Yeah. Thankfully, it was not a full detonation. Rather than explode, the old explosive material combusted and burned. Since no bystanders were injured, this is a wonderfully apt nomination for Darwin Award plus honorable mention. In Finland, you do not disassemble bomb disassemble you.
Truth.
Fuck
Truth.
yeah, dude.
That's
Don't
confirmed.
fuck with that stuff. Anti-tank grenade,
Confirmed.
dude,
Don't
those
do
things, think about it. They're going against tanks that have like thick metal shell.
Other tanks. This is going against another tank. Yeah.
Yeah, the anti-tank
True, true.
grenade, it's like made to burn
Penetrate.
a hole through that fucking metal.
Yes.
And then explode.
Yes.
And this guy, fucking
Trying to
amateur
take the-
bomb disposal.
Wow.
Call EOD, you stupid ass.
I bet you he had a pack of cigarettes rolled up in his shirt.
Maybe.
And
I don't know how
flip-flops
they
on.
are
No, he had no shoes on.
in Finland.
And a Marlboro in his mouth.
Maybe.
That
Or
might
some
be
type
around
of Finnish
here, but-
equivalent.
Finnish equivalent to Marlboro.
3 November 1912 in St. Louis, a tight-laced corset caused the death of female impersonator Joseph Hanella, 40, who collapsed on the stage of a South Side vaudeville theater and died at City Hospital 3 hours later. The corset was a terrible waste. Oh, that was...
That was funny. That was so funny.
In Joseph's younger days, it was easy to get feminine lines. However, as the career performer grew older, he grew stouter and pulled the corset laces tighter and tighter in order to achieve a feminine silhouette. His friends advised him to desist, but he preferred to continue working in his profession and believed that tight lacing was necessary to attractively reduce his figure. Hospital physicians said the tight corsetry caused or aggravated kidney trouble and induced a tendency to apoplexy.
So you cannot take a breath in if you're... Hold on. Okay, so those of you guys that are watching YouTube, the guy looks like John Travolta.
He does.
And then he's got like a wig on. He looks
Don't
more
touch the
like,
hair.
looks more like John Travolta.
Vinnie Barbarino.
It does. It's Vinnie Barbarino.
Some of the younger people won't even know who the
Oh my
fuck that
God.
is.
Oh, yes.
Stab in the Dark. The title alone is enough for me to be happy.
Yep.
And where else but Australia would something like this probably happen? A stabbing death of a man in the suburbs of Brisbane was precipitated by a bizarre twist of fate. 2 men aged 21 and 28 went to a caravan park intent on doing serious damage to the occupant of one trailer. In the ensuing confusion, the intended victim escaped without injury while his 2 attackers managed to viciously stab each other. The 21-year-old knife wielder died at the scene while the 28-year-old was hospitalized with severe injuries. The incident thus qualifies for both a Darwin Award and an at-risk survivor, a rare event indeed.
So was that like Larry, Curly, and Moe? Like,
Yeah. So these guys were like probably gonna fuck this guy
like
up.
the guy, like they're stabbing at each other, and the guy like slips out from in between,
Yeah.
and they're still stabbing at each other. That's totally.
I'm wondering if while they're doing this guy's going, "Ow! Why am I
Vaudeville-
getting this pain
Vaudeville.
while I'm stabbing?" The other guy's probably out
stabbing
at the
myself.
fucking local pub drinking a Foster's.
Slips out from underneath. Yeah.
These 2 are stabbing each other.
I'm gonna turn all the lights off,
Fucking beautiful.
and then you're gonna come. You're gonna start that side, and you're gonna start the other side, and you're just gonna. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Genius.
We just read
We just
that
read that
one.
one.
Copper Caper.
Nice.
1999 in England, Wayne wanted to make a few bucks by selling stolen scrap metal. He sneaked into a demolition site and surveyed the area for valuable hunks of debris. His eyes fastened upon what appeared to be a 3-inch thick copper pipe. That's never good.
What are you
That
gonna
would fetch
say?
a fine fee.
What are you gonna say?
The 3-inch copper pipe
That's what she said.
is the 3-inch copper pipe is basically the pipe that goes into your house for your electricity.
Okay.
So you know when you see that big sleeve that goes up into the roof of your house where
Okay.
your electric box is, where
Yeah.
your fuse box is, that's the 3-inch copper pipe. That would but it was too heavy for him to budget. He hauled a few lesser chunks of metal away and returned with sturdy bolt cutters. It was then when he had attempted to sever the pipe that he was shocked to discover that it was actually an aluminum cable carrying 11,000 volts of power. The paramedics who later tried to revive the electrified Wayne were thwarted by the current. He did not survive to be charged with his offenses. Wow. Ooh,
Because if you're
the witty puns
if
in that
you
one.
are electrified, someone's supposed to knock you off with like a broom handle. Don't grab them, or it'll run through you because
Yeah.
it's going to try to
You have
go
to use something that's not
the
conductive.
path of least resistance. Right. So if your kid has a fork in the electrical outlet, you have to knock them off of there.
Kick him with the rubber sole of your shoe
You do, yeah. You can't
in the
touch 'em.
head
You can't pull them
for
away, or
sticking
you're
a
going to be
fork.
the next one.
Or just watch him because he deserves it if he's sticking a fork in the fucking socket.
Dude, they stick everything
I
in
know
the,
they do, morons.
That's why you have those little covers and stuff.
Abu Hammam. 30 January 2018 in Gaza, a sexagenarian,
What is that?
that's a 70-year-old, was examining his personal weapon in his home when he inadvertently discharged it into his face.
What happened to your face?
21 days after accidentally shooting himself. Oh, sexagenarian is a 60-year-old.
Okay.
Abu Hammam, 62, succumbed to the self-inflicted headbang and died clutching a Darwin Award. But who is Abu Hammam? Abu is known to the world as Imad al-Alami, a founding member of Hamas, a militant group that has been the de facto governing authority of the Gaza Strip since 2007. Mr. Alami served as Hamas's main envoy to Iran, a military and financial backer during several wars with Israel. Although declared a specially designated global terrorist by the United States, in recent years, Abu Hammam was a key negotiator in Hamas ceasefire talks with Israel and in the 2011 release of a captured Israeli soldier. Hamas was Abu Hammam and Abu Hammam was Hamas, said Hamas Politburo chief Haniya. One would assume that a senior member of Hamas knows how to handle a gun, yet Abu's incautious personal weapons inspection was unexpectedly daft.
Like he's looking down
This
the barrel.
Darwin Awards for you, Mr. Alami. Dude, Hamas is a terrorist
Don't look down the
organization.
barrel of a gun.
They are a nasty fucking group of people.
Blew your face
Palestinians.
off. It's called karma.
Yep. That's what you get, motherfucker.
I'll get you, sucker.
Smarter animals. Oh, this is like a twofer.
Oh, nice.
16 August 1999 in Germany, a hunter from Bad Urach was shot dead by his own dog on Monday.
Better watch out. Mara's coming after you,
Yeah.
man.
The 51-year-old man was found sprawled next to his car in the Black Forest. A gun barrel was pointed out the window, and his bereaved dog was howling inside the car. The animal is presumed to have pressed the trigger with his paw. Police have ruled out foul play. Since it happened in a hunting preserve, does the dog get the head mounted on a wall in its doghouse?
Oh, yeah.
Aw, poor puppy.
He didn't have an owner.
He
anymore.
didn't mean to.
He was
Ni-
just running on it.
1991, Nicosia, Cyprus. Under similar circumstances, an Iranian hunter was shot to death near Tehran by a snake that coiled around his shotgun as he pinned the reptile to the ground. Another hunter reported that the victim, named Ali, tried to catch the snake alive by pressing the butt of his shotgun behind its head. The snake coiled around the butt and pulled the trigger.
Oh,
Shooting Ali in the
nice.
head.
That is nice. That's,
What?
yep. So you
He didn't want to get bit by the snake, so instead he got bit by his own rifle.
Ooh, in the face.
In the face.
Shoot you in the face. In the kitchen sink?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what?
Austria, 2004. The manager of an apartment house was surprised to find the legs of a corpse sticking out an apartment window. Police entered the apartment and found the deceased man's head soaking in a sink full of hot water. Apparently, the out-of-work Austrian had returned home after a night of drinking and drugs. He decided to slip through the kitchen window. The window was fixed at the base and tilted out, giving him just enough room to squeeze his head through as far as the sink before he got stuck. While flailing around trying to escape, he turned on the hot water tap.
Oh,
Police were not sure why he had not turned off the water, pulled the plug, or perhaps most important, entered through the front door since they found the keys in his pants pocket. He must have been fucked up
he was fucked
to not be able to turn off the hot water.
up.
Because eventually it's going to get so hot it hurts, right?
That's when he was freaking out. He probably hit the hot water.
Oh my
And then it
God.
started burning his face, and he was just
And
trying
he's like
to
screaming under
get
the
it
water.
off my face, not
So he
turn
started,
off
like,
the water.
breathing
It's
the water
brain-
instead.
yeah. Because he's
Drunk-
screaming for help,
Drunk
and
and
it's just
fucked up.
it's like this, and it's going like, you know, those neti pots where you flush out,
Yeah.
you know? He was neti potting or burning the inside of his nostrils.
Oh my God.
Ew.
September 2003 in Mexico. An
Oh.
unidentified 60-year-old Escobedo man was still thirsty after drinking what most would consider too much alcohol. He stumbled toward a nearby beehive, hoping to follow the beer with a bit of honey. He thought the bees would surely share. Instead, they obeyed a Darwinian signal bred into them for millennia. Over 1,000 noble fighters gave their all, sacrificed their stingers and their lives to protect the hive. The The man, quite reasonably, responded with terminal anaphylactic shock.
That'll do it, yeah.
A hospital spokesman disputed the theory that the bees had killed him, attributing his demise to the stupid things drunk people do, pointing out that he was otherwise healthy and would have enjoyed a long life. The combination was lethal. Now, aren't you supposed to, like, when you want to get honey from the bees, aren't you supposed to use smoke to calm them down?
It's the tobacco smoke, and it makes them kind of...
And they chill out.
They chill, yeah.
Maybe the tobacco smoke actually makes them high, kind of like the smoke from marijuana
that would
makes
make
people
sense,
high.
because but it does. You smoke them, and then
But
you
this
can
guy
take
was
the honey.
like,
But you're in a bee suit. You're not running out there trying
Yeah.
to tap on it with your beer bottle, trying to turn it on.
that
pour
gives
it in
new
there.
meaning to the word hold my beer.
Yeah. Here, bee, hold my beer.
Hold my beer.
Wow.
Dumbass.
Yep.
July 2000, Alberta, Canada. Yet another man was shot,
Oh.
himself in the groin, greatly reducing his chance of contributing to the gene pool. This particular example of a common miscalculation happened at a billiards room in Calgary. The 34-year-old man had been involved in an argument at 4 a.m. and came back to settle the score. According to Calgary Police Inspector John Middleton Hope, as he pulled a small caliber handgun from his waistband, it discharged. The man, described by his wife as distraught, was taken to a hospital for treatment. His injuries weren't life-threatening, but I would suggest that they were life-altering, said the inspector. Dude, don't stick fucking guns down the front of your pants.
Pants.
Fucking idiots.
Okay, you see the Westerns, they have them on the side.
Yeah.
Oh, and people, don't shoot a gun with your hands sideways.
And don't pull.
When you shoot a gun with your hands sideways, I can't tell you how many patients don't do it
Yeah.
this way. Yeah.
You don't pull. You don't jerk the gun like that.
Yeah.
And you don't fucking put your hand near the trigger at all.
Nope.
Simple.
There
simple
is
dumb.
a safety on the gun that needs to be.
Yeah. What's new, pussycat? May of 1999 in Spain, 2 German tourists were enjoying the last day of vacation at Safari Park, a wild game park in Alicante. I can already see where this is
Oh,
going.
no.
Safari Park is a controlled reserve hosting a variety of wild animals living in natural habitats. Visitors driving through the park are cautioned not to open the windows and to remain within their vehicle at all times. Frequent warning signs are posted in many languages, including German. While driving through a tiger grotto, I knew this was going to get beautiful.
Well, it's the tiger smoking a cigarette.
Wilhelm and his companion parked the car, emerged from it for reasons that are unclear, and locked the doors behind them.
Doot, doot.
They were set upon by 3 Bengal tigers lurking in the brush nearby. The big cats, 2 males and a female, 10 to 12 years old, pounced on the unfortunate couple, breaking their necks and quickly silencing their screams. Security guards rushed to the scene, arriving to find the woman beheaded and the man disemboweled. Wow!
Yeah, we had a place called Hollywild that you would drive through.
Dude, you know how many stories you hear about things too, like hippos? Hippos are like
they're
aggressive
vicious.
as fuck.
They are vicious.
And they can bite you in half.
So cute and cuddly, and they can run. Oh yeah, they're
until a hippo bull comes up in the water on your ass.
Yeah, exactly. They can.
There's like always stories of deaths in like Asia from that shit.
From hippos, yeah.
Yeah, Africa and Asia.
Yep.
Because people don't think that they're dangerous.
Yep.
I can only imagine.
Stay in your car. They tell you to stay in your car for a reason. This is not a show.
Just like that fucking Harambe thing with that little boy that climbed in there and died.
Yep.
It wasn't the fucking gorilla's fault.
No.
And they still put him down. Fucking Harambe. Dicks out for Harambe.
Dicks out?
My friend will know.
What?
My friends who listen to this show will understand.
Dicks
they will
out
understand.
For Harambe.
Fucking dicks out
I need
for
some
Harambe.
explanation.
Reader Senora says, many years ago, my 2 uncles started roughhousing at our Christmas gathering. Uncle Frank picked up Uncle John by the heels, lost his grip, and dropped Uncle John on his head. It was all right because Uncle John was a state Supreme Court justice and was there for life. The other uncle is, I am sure, in your archive. The The one about the skydiving photographer who forgot to put on a chute.
What?
North Carolina in 1987. Ivan, an experienced parachutist with 800 jumps under his belt, was videotaping a private lesson given by an instructor for a single trainee. He had attached the video camera to his helmet so that it would capture the entire day of instruction, and the supporting power supply and recorder were in a heavy satchel slung on his back. The group went up in the plane, and the instructor led the enthusiastic beginner through their preparations for the jump. Ivan carefully documented the lesson, which needed to be perfect for the sake of posterity. When they reached the jump site, Ivan jumped from the back of the plane and filmed the student and instructor jumping from the front of the plane. A few heartbeats later, tape still running, Ivan realized that he had been so focused on filming the jump that he had forgotten to strap on his own parachute. An FAA spokesperson said that the video equipment strapped to his back may have been mistaken for a parachute. In the footage salvaged from the camera and spliced together, the student and instructor are shown in free fall before they pull their ripcords and recede rapidly from view. Then the cameraman's hands reach for his own ripcord when Ivan realizes he has no ripcord, ergo no chute. His hands are seen to flail about wildly. Then the camera pans down towards the approaching Earth. Film from the final stage of the plunge was destroyed on impact.
That is like Faces of Death, man.
Yes.
You know that parachuter that flies into the alligator pit and just gets eaten, just like
It's one of my favorite movies series.
Yeah, there's
They're
like
so
a
fucking
lot of
awesome.
those.
I love those.
My cousin Jason, he's just like, you gotta watch Faces
Yeah.
of Death. I'm like, I don't want to. I did, and it's like burned into your brain matter. Like them eating that monkey brains, like just like strapped. Oh my God, don't do it.
When they show the footage of an airplane crash and there's chunks of people
Like I wonder
in people's yards.
how high he bounced when he hit.
Ooh, I
you know
don't
what
know.
I mean? Like was it 12 feet?
I don't know.
Because you don't just. It's not like a cartoon where you go in and it.
Yeah, you don't just fall right into the earth.
Yeah. Oh,
30 October 2008, Oklahoma.
wonder what his last words were though.
I don't know. Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Peter G., 32, was an accomplished big cat keeper. With his huge heart and gift of connecting with animals, this former Tulsa zookeeper was the perfect volunteer at Safari's Animal Sanctuary in Broken Arrow. Perfect until the liger incident. You may ask, as we asked, what's a liger? Ligers are a lion and a tiger. Anyway, I don't know if I'm going to be able to read
He dragged
this.
himself out of the cage before becoming the main course and died in the
So he climbed into the liger's
breeding
cage,
time.
and the fucking liger killed him and ate
ate
him.
him.
People,
The lion.
we're going to do more Darwin Awards, I guarantee
Yeah.
it. We'll see you guys again soon. Give us an email, thedeadtimeradio@gmail.com. Give us a call, 843-492-7966. We'll see you next time. Love
Bye.
you.